What's the key to the M&A market in Peru? What's driving the deals?
I would say that what's driving the deals is the Peruvian economic policy of letting owners at this time improve their businesses, acquire other Peruvian businesses, and then sell their industries and their businesses to foreign investors. That's what's happening. The economy is growing so fast that foreign investors like to invest in Peruvian companies. If those Peruvian companies are healthy and they even acquire these smaller competitors, they're very, very attractive businesses to buy.
So what are the most promising business sectors in Peru, particularly in M&A?
For example, construction. There is a lot of activity in construction companies right now. That's becoming concentrated in a very few hands because of mergers. You could see in Peru a family buying a piece of land and starting a business of building an apartment complex, for example. But that's becoming a thing of the past. More and more companies are becoming more integrated, and there you have the large real estate developers, and they are becoming corporations which are publicly traded. So that requires M&A activity and the purchase of businesses. There is also a lot of financing mergers, the setup of stock funds, many changes in the agricultural sector as well. The food conglomerates are becoming integrated. Sugar businesses, for example, are getting again into a few hands because of the economies of scale that are required nowadays to be able to export and comply with the requirements of, for example, the European Union and the United States.
So how important is the light touch legal framework in Peru?
Very important. We have been congratulated many times by foreign investors for our legal framework. There is a tendency always in lawyers and accountants to complicate a few things for their own benefit. In Peru, most people, especially the lawyers and accountants in charge of the largest transactions, have resisted that temptation and continue to support not excessive regulation, but regulation that allows businesses really to take place very quickly in an organized way, and as long as there is transparency and people know what they're talking about and getting into.
And that light touch is also reflected in the tax and foreign exchange systems.
Yes, Peru is one of the few countries in Latin America, and probably the only one, where you can use any foreign currency you may like to use in the streets. You can go to a store and use euros, or use pesos, or use dollars, or use Peruvian currency. And everything is legal. And people, as long as they have the money, they would accept it, and you are able to buy, and the prices are even in different currencies. So that spurs the economy and allows many transactions that otherwise would not take place to occur. Taxes also are very important. And I think Peru has only 2 taxes. All the minor taxes, but it has an income tax and a value-added tax, and that simplifies things to a very large extent. The corporate tax rate has always been 30%, and it remains at that level. So it's very advantageous for corporations to do business in Peru.
So finally, how would you summarize the business case for investing in Peru?
I think it is a wonderful economy that's growing very fast, almost at 10% right now, the last quarter. I would say that whoever wants to invest in Peru will find a very straightforward legal framework, will find an economy with consumers ready to buy goods, consumers ready to buy homes, ready to invest in financial products. So I think this is the time to invest in Peru, if anything. I think this decade is going to be the decade of Peru, and that foreign investors should take notice.
Dr. Victor Marroquin, thank you very much.
You're welcome.